Welcome into the Home Run Derby here at True West Park, July 14th, 2025. I'm your boy, Mikey Money. I'm trying to bring you guys a couple of data points to make some decisions as to how you're going to get invested in this Home Run Derby. We're going to look at ballpark factors. We've got True West Park, a hitter-friendly park. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the player pitching combination, that chemistry, and is that important or not? Hometown versus road advantage. And then lastly, we'll make some player props to try to tie it all together and put the bow on this thing. It's an 8-man field. First and foremost, you need to know there's no more head-to-head matchups in this first round. They've gone to just an 8-man field. Number of home runs advances, a true meritocracy. You're going to go out there and crack home runs. They want to show you home runs, and if you get the most, you're going to advance out there. Cal Raleigh, in fact, leads Major League Baseball with the most home runs with that Seattle Mariners squad. 320 is the odds-on favorite, or the biggest favorite to win this tournament. O'Neill Cruz from the Pirates. James Wood coming in here from the Nationals, has plenty of experience at Truist this season. Several games played here. We'll talk a little bit about whether that's making a difference or not. Matt Olson is that hometown kid. Byron Buxton, kind of a runner-up for hometown. He does play in Minnesota. He is from the Georgia area. We'll talk about that as it relates to capping this card here. Junior Caminero coming in from the Tampa Bay Rays. Brent Rooker, the Nomad Athletics. No home city for those Athletics, but certainly where they're playing in Sacramento has been a tremendous home run friendly, run generating offense. And Brent Rooker's benefited from that. Whether they're home or on the road, Brent has been the straw that stirs the drink there in Athletic land. And we'll bring her home with Jazz Chisholm. Talk a little bit about what Jazz Chisholm said as it goes to the interviews pre-home run derby. Truist Park. What do we know? Well, it's not quite a baby park, but it's in the realm. One of the differences here is it's not so much the short porches, it's the short center wall. 400 feet dead center. Only 3 ballparks across Major League Baseball are shorter right down the center. When we look at those porches, I talk about short porches like Yankee Stadium and Fenway and the lefty and the righty sides. And how does that relate to the pitching advantages here? The right field wall, 8th shortest in Major League Baseball. The left field wall, 19th shortest in Major League Baseball. Consider that as you're deciding which pole shot has the better opportunity to advance. And when we look at depth, let's look at the longest home run hit at this park. It's none other than the hometown kid, Ronald Acuna Jr. Has himself a 495er out here back in 2020. Does rank 7th in total home runs over the last 3 years in Major League ballparks. Again, a hitter-friendly ballpark. I think the couple of those stats are going to be key as it comes to capping and jumping in on player props for us here. Let's talk about the players. Let's look at these players and their pitching combos. Why is this important? Well, for a couple of things, a couple of reasons. First and foremost, we saw who won this thing last year. Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez found the formula to be, I want a guy that's got experience, not just with me, but in the home run derby format. He knows how to throw those meatballs across the pitch that help these guys advance and move on to the next rounds. And look, when you look at who did he pick? Dino Abel. Yeah, that was the third base coach for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He also had experience with Peterson, Pujols, and Vladdy G back in the day. So there was that combination. We're going to try to hone in on that particular combination as we look for the 8-man field and try to identify our outright winner. There's been some tremendous line moves here. Cal Raleigh continues to move as the odds-on favorite to win this thing, including James Wood and Brent Rooker. No movement on Junior Caminero and O'Neill Cruz. Top 5 bet props. We love to look at these because, well, frankly, we want to try to stay away from some of these. Cal Raleigh to advance to the finals plus 110 is the number 1 most bet prop at the Home Run Derby per BetMGM. American League player to win at minus 130 is number 2. Cal Raleigh to advance to the semis at minus 275. The under 240.5 total home runs. And then Jazz Chisholm, under 17.5 home runs in the first round, clocks in at number 5. Let's talk about players and pitching combination, the experience, the chemistry. James Wood. Something to note really quick before I jump into James Wood and get too far ahead. If you're looking for motivated player spots, I think there's 3 that fall under this criteria. We'll talk about 2 of them right off the gate. It does happen to be James Wood and O'Neill Cruz. Why are these guys potentially motivated? The bonus for winning the home run derby is $1 million, a cool millie. That's going to be more money than either one of these guys would make this year in their Major League Baseball contract. There's a little motivation to try to go out there and get it done. James Wood's going to partner up with Ricky Gutierrez. That's the Nationals' third base coach. James Wood has 24 home runs on the season. That's good for 8th in baseball. You look at James Wood's hit distribution across this ballpark, however, playing in the NL East with them Washington Nationals and the Atlanta Braves, they see each other quite a bit. James Wood's got some unique distribution across the field, not just trying to slam that short porch out there that does exist on that right side. Cal Raleigh, again, is that odds-on favorite. Pops is going to pitch to him. It's Todd Raleigh. Cal Raleigh leads the home runs at 38 on the season out there. He's a catcher. Can we see a catcher come out and win this tournament? O'Neill Cruz has Steven Morales. That is not just a coach for those Pittsburgh Pirates, but also a translator. There could be some hidden chemistry inside of there. O'Neill Cruz is 16th for home runs on the season. That's tied for 41st. And I mentioned he can hit the ball a ton. He's a very powerful hitter. Not consistently on the home run spot out there, as we've seen with the Pittsburgh Pirates. But O'Neill Cruz isn't going to make my list. Number one reason, he got pulled on Saturday. Hip flexor concerns out there. Injured factor out of this lineup for me. We'll move on. Let's talk about Matt Olson. Eddie Perez, going to be the former Atlanta catcher, Braves extraordinaire. 17 home runs on the season for Matty Olson. 29th in baseball. Hometown, is there a benefit? Historically, we've seen there's not. There's a lot of distractions for these players. First of all, your entire team is cleared out to go to vacation. They're going to Cancun. They're going wherever it is that they go out there. You've got the phone ringing. Why is the phone ringing? Because it's your buddy's buddy. He's like, hey, man, you remember me a couple years ago? Can you get me some tickets for the home run derby? Is there I want to go to this party afterwards. Can you help me get in? There's a lot of distraction, and we've seen that historically that doesn't boast well for these hometown players. So I'm going to scratch Matt Olson off the list. Brent Rooker has Joe Caruso, his childhood coach, back in Memphis. And Brent, the Nomad Lion Athletics, 20 home runs on the season. That's 17th in Major League Baseball. He could be a competitor. I think he's probably my 1B. He might be my first cut when you look at this thing here. Should be able to compete. Young guy coming in with confidence, got enthusiasm. It's a fun part to be a part of this All-Star break. Jazz Chisholm comes in at 10-1. The Yankee. He's going to have his stepdad pitching to him. It's Geron Sands. He's been throwing to him ever since a kid. Check the box in chemistry. Big red X when it comes to motivation. He said himself, he's only going to go 70%. He's just here to have a good time. He's playing red hot. And I think part of that motivation is he's had guys like Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge tell him, dude, the home run derby destroys your swing when you come back. All you're doing is popping meatballs long, and it changes your hip rotation. It changes your just plate discipline in general. And so I think as a result of that, he's just not in here to come in very motivated to win this home run derby. Byron Buxton. He's got the third base coach, Tommy Watkins. There's one combination. There's one piece of the formula we look for is that third base coach. However, at 21 home runs on the season, that's number 12 in baseball. He's got a 479-footer this year as well. But Byron Buxton was questionable for his own bobblehead night. You can't make your own bobblehead night. You can't make my list when it comes to the home run derby. We're going to scratch Byron Buxton despite being the big swinger. He's a big injury guy. That brings me down to Junior Caminero, 10-1. Check the box. He's got a third base coach. It's Tommy Francisco. Check the box. He's got himself a pitcher with experience. Randy Arozarena, certainly one of those guys that he had pitched to in the past. And as far as motivation, check the box for Chip. This guy wasn't even on the All-Star calendar a week ago. Jose Ramirez pulls out. He gets the opportunity. He gets the nod to come in here. And so he's got nothing but upside. He's got 23 home runs on the season. That's good for 9th. He's been having a great first half of the season for them Rays. And you can never count this guy out. I'm not going to count him out. I'm going to take him at 10-1. I like that number. As I mentioned, I thought honorable mention, Brent Rooker, 7-1 is not a bad look. I'm going to take 3-player prop bets. I'm going to take the AL to win the Derby. I like these guys, whether it be Cal Raleigh or as we're taking Junior Caminero. Minus 105 seems like a good price tag. I like factoring in this lack of motivation. Jazz Chisholm, I know he's number 5 on our list overall, but Jazz Chisholm under 17.5 home runs in the first round is even money. We'll clock that in for player prop number 2. Player prop number 3, I'm going to go to the over 232.5 home runs. Yeah, it's a home run ballpark. They've got some field changes out here. We've seen the home runs decline year over year. I think a big reason for that Well, if you know that your guy's got 17 home runs, all you need is 18. It de-incentivizes you to go out there and try to get a 30 pack. So I'm going to take the over 232.5 at even or minus 110, excuse me. Last two props I've got out there. One, I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to take a shot with the longest home run to be over 470.5 yards. For all the aforementioned pitching dynamics, the ballpark dimensions, and we've talked about a couple of these guys that could hit some moonshots out there. That's a minus 110 price tag. And I mentioned Junior Caminero to be my guy. 10-1 odds. That's the way we're going to go after it for the home run derby. Bet responsibly. This is a fun time. Sprinkle a couple chips around. Don't do anything crazy. And we'll be back to continue on this terrific Major League Baseball season Friday with pre-gaming. I'm your boy, Mikey Money, on behalf of Sports Money. Enjoy the next couple of days. Have a great home run derby. And let's get that money.